apparently I was having issues with my microphone. And of course, I bought a lavalier microphone that happened to be one that is not compatible with my iPhone 13. So that didn't work. So I'm actually recording this unlisted right now, and I'm going to listen to it, see if it's good, and then I'll post it. And of course, if you're listening to this, that means it's okay. So, first things first, I was talking about how, I'm selling some of my bucks and my bucklings because I'm trying to pivot my with what I'm doing in terms of livestock and dealing with the public right now. One of the biggest problems we have in late stage capitalism is price discovery between people. People hate each other, especially in America. If you want to know why, just look at the housing market, look at the used car market. That's all you need to know. Try to negotiate with somebody on Facebook Marketplace over a used car with over 100 or 200,000 miles. And the greed and the hatred and the desire to screw you over and the desire to screw you over without caring about the consequences. Actually ask them, when you talk to one of them, ask them if they go to church. Not like that matters or anything, and they'll say yes. And you say, well, then why are you trying to screw me, dude? If you care about Christ shedding blood for the remission of your and everybody else's sins, then why are you looking to sin on me right now, right? And same thing with houses. I'm looking for land right now, just casually. I don't need to buy, and I probably won't buy till later in the year, if I even do. And I was looking at a piece of land, 60 something acres, mainly pasture, some woods, actually a view of the lake. Kind of cool, a little view, not like a, $3 million view, but something. Their price was $265,000, I believe. They raised it up from 200. They actually raised it after 200 something days on the market. I offered them $160,000 cash. And they talked to me. I let them do it. I let them say it was for sale by owner. The things that they said to me, the rudeness, they're boomers. And I just laughed. I said to them, I said, you know what? Everybody in life is born naked. Everybody's got to die at some point. Why? When you're done here, and most Christians believe this, that you've got a sort of, life review with God as if you're a defendant in a courtroom. Why would you want to make your appearance in celestial court that much more drawn out? By being greedy, by being inordinately greedy. See, the problem right now we've got in terms of price discovery is that the American public are so disgustingly out of touch with the principles of the free market and reality. They actually believe that they are entitled to a profit, not just any profit, but a gargantuan profit. Everybody knows the market doesn't care about your feelings. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that's just what it is. Everybody, especially boomers, I know what I got. And if they don't sell it for what they want, they pull it off the market. It's insane. So, that being said, it's the same thing going with selling goats. With cattle, people put a disease-ridden cow up on the market, and they'll still get a couple grand for it. With a goat or a sheep, people think they're free. It's unbelievable dealing with the public. So because I'm sick of dealing with the public on Marketplace and Craigslist and all that, I'm going to the sale barn. They take a small cut, but at this point in time, I'm so sick of dealing with the public. And actually, I'm so sick of dealing with the public, I'm going to do that with my goats. And I actually even may go to a dealership to buy a vehicle. I've never done this in my life. I've always bought private party. I never had problems. But the rampant greed is just so disgusting. And these sellers go, well, come back when you can afford it. And I say, I can afford your clapped out vehicle. It's my sense of self-respect. I'm not going to hand you, with no warranty, a pile of cash, knowing that you're lying to me about the vehicle and that I don't want to enable you even more to feel entitled, and they don't get it. Oh, you can't afford it. I can afford it. I'm not going to do it because, first of all, the money was not easy to earn. So anyways, this is the problem nowadays. This is why one of the main linchpins why everything's going down the toilet right now is price discovery. Nobody wants price discovery. Nobody wants to enter into a good deal in good faith. It's all about screwing the other person over. It's all about finding the greater fool so you get your exit liquidity. That's all it is. And of course, you can't talk like this to the public because they're stupid and they don't know what this means. And for me, I almost feel like, like I can't say that on YouTube, but dealing with, and I can't say that on YouTube, unfortunately. Anyways, I was over at my local Chabad Lubavitch in Bentonville the other day, and I'm not a Lubavitcher. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. I'm not one of those people at all. I am a non-Zionist Jew. Non-Zionist, meaning I don't defend the right to kill innocent people. And now, asterisk, original sin, if you believe it or not. None of us are innocent, except for babies, unless you want to talk about, karma or whatever. I don't believe in killing of innocent people. I have Arab friends. I don't believe in any of that. But I'm also not like on the left, free Palestine. I'm neither of those. I'm pretty much just leave me the hell alone. I have no interest in enslaving anybody, but I have also no interest in being enslaved. And I was talking to the rabbi, and we're talking about the goyim, right? And by goyim, a lot of people take that disparagingly. It's not meant disparagingly. It means nation, foreign nation in Yiddish. It also can mean cattle, as in like a bipedal livestock animal. It can mean that, but honestly, a lot of Gentiles with brains are coming around to the way that we view the world. And they're going, a lot of these people are acting like they're livestock for that, We're talking about the material greed of the goyim, about, how you could walk in somewhere with like me, with a gold ring on your finger. And the public look at it and they go, that's gaudy, that must be fake. But if it had a Chanel or a Louis Vuitton logo on it, they would worship me as a rich person, right? The public, being livestock animals, worship brands. They worship being branded with a hot iron. Ooh, Dolce & Gabbana. Chanel. Dior. Salvador Ferragamo. This is how they are. They're animalistic. And so me and the rabbi were talking about, how it pays to never be jealous or envious of anybody because, first of all, you don't know if they really got it like that or they fronting with loan money or credit or mortgages or car loans. Also, you don't know if they do have it, you don't know what they did to get it. What they did to get it might have been really immoral or amoral. And the reason why, again, getting back to this whole, life review with God or whatever after you die, whether you believe in that or not, it pays to believe in it because it says in the Bible, in the Old Testament, vengeance is mine, the Lord always repays. Paraphrasing, meaning, don't get even, the Lord always repays. And I believe that everybody gets what's coming to them, whether it be good or evil. When you see a person who looks rich, quote unquote, they may be a person who gives inordinate value to people and has received blessings and largesse in proportion to what they've given to other people. You also might see people who look rich and they are scammers or they do horrible things. You might see people who look poor who are horrible people. You may see people who look poor who are beautiful souls. They help people and they're just trampled on. So it helps to remember everybody's born into this. Everybody must exit the realm. There's no transhumanist live forever. It's a meme, it's a pipe dream. There may be life extension in the future, but everybody's got to exit at some point in time, meaning you can't run, you can't hide from your maker. That's not a fear tactic or a spiritual form of FUD, It's not that, but it's just to say, don't ever feel jealous of anybody. Don't feel jealous of me. Don't feel jealous of anybody. Everybody's done what they've done, good and bad, and most human beings are not ultimately bad or good. They're a mixture. One of the aspects of the ancient mysteries that people never talk about because they don't know is when you've done bad in your life, and we all have, including me. Now, I don't mean evil or like unaliving anybody, but we've all done things. We've all done things. The good never has to be justified. All acts of evil or amorality, immorality, everybody's got a justification for why they've done things. That's how evil works, is you're able to justify it. But what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. Um, One aspect of the mysteries most people don't know about is if you feel like you've done some stuff in your life, some dirt you're not proud of, and you want to kind of make a clean break and you want to repent, so to speak, you want to make your life pure. One of the ways that they've known to do this since ancient times is don't try to make your life pure by interfacing with other people. It's not going to work. All those old feelings of hatred for the public are just going to dredge up to the surface, and you're going to start recommitting sins that you shouldn't do. The best way is to start surrounding yourself with animals. Either adopt a rescue animal, or become a veterinarian, work at a shelter, get into farming, right? The best way to help purify yourself is to deal with animals who are dependent on you. And, let's say you go beat an animal. That's a horrible thing to do. Unless you're a total psychopath, you're going to feel horrible about yourself afterwards. And you'll learn the truth, which is animals are here as part of the food web, yes, and part of the environment, part of the mechanism of nature. But the other esoteric reason for animals to be here is to teach you how to live righteously. It's hard to live righteous with human beings, but it's easy. Well, it's not easy. It's easier to live righteously with animals. It's easy for me when I see an animal in distress to tend to it, to steward my animals, And now me, I don't have animals because I'm a horrible person or whatever. I have animals for a variety of reasons. But, again, since I know this aspect of the mysteries, and I know dealing with people is getting harder and harder to do as the world gets worse and worse and worse, it's easier to stay grounded. If I didn't have animals, I probably would be in prison for having my way with one of these animals trying to screw me over or trying to do a bad deal or whatever. So the animals help me to stay grounded. I can take care of them. I get milk. I sell some for profit, whatever. So if you feel that you're on the verge of just losing your poop, so to speak, get an animal. If you got some land, go get some livestock animals. Now, with little animals like chickens, only goes so far. But with ruminant animals, or dogs or cats in particular, those are the animals that the Creator really put here to help you connect with living beings with heartbeats. Goats, sheep, cattle, camels, dogs, cats, anything of that order. So it's something to think about if you really feel that life is getting really bad and you're really having a bad time with human beings. They're greedy, they're trying to screw you over. Most people can see this right now. Let's say you're in the market selling and buying things. Everybody wants you to pay top price for their stuff, but they want to give you nothing for your stuff, right? We've all been there. And you start hating people. Get yourself an animal, which is basically a stress ball with a soul. You can hug it, you could talk to it, you could pet it, you can feed it, you can give it treats, you can feel good about taking care of it, about having a connection with that animal. Obviously, they're not a human being. They don't have IQs that human beings have, but they have their quirks, they have their innate instincts, and they have something up top in their brain. It might not be a whole lot, but they got something, and it's pure. And when you deal with these animals, it helps you become pure because there's a pure naivete to these animals where you'd feel like an absolute monster to hurt one. So It's just some food for thought about the ancient mysteries and how to carry that into today. The prisons know this. Some prisons allow for trustees, for good inmates, to reward them being good inmates, to allow them a program where they can care for a cat, maybe, you know. And those programs, they see that those inmates become less likely to become recidivists or bad inmates while they're incarcerated. And the program seems to help, and it humanizes people, and it helps. They've seen where then these inmates treat other inmates better. In particular, the inmates they treat better are the other ones who have a cat also. It's almost like distilling water and remineralizing it. This is a cheat code to remineralizing a human being in terms of purification. That's what I've got for you guys today. If you guys like the channel and the things that I talk about, feel free to join the channel, become a member. I've got talks on there that are really edifying. The other thing is I've got a website or an online store that's going to go live later today. The first book up there is this one. This is my first book, The Forbidden Laws of Success, Volume 1. You can see it is a real book. Look at that. It's a real book. Now, the cool thing about this, it was written in between 2012, 2013. It was added to in 2020 when I initially released it. And I just went through the whole thing, edited it, proofread it, and added to it. So you're getting even more book for the price. It's going to be on my shop. It's $95, PDF. We're not doing physical. $95 for the info. And like I said beforehand, if you're, strapped for cash or whatever, and you've contributed to my channel in some way, or I know you, or you've got a good reason to reach out, you can email me at thesoftspoken@gmail.com if you want a reduced price. Don't email me just because you want it cheaper. You don't have a justification. If you have a justification, I'm always willing to hear you out. If you have something to trade, a service to trade, I'm always willing to hear you out. But that's the price. It's well worth it. And think about it this way. If you listen to my channel throughout the years, it's quid pro quo, what I've given and now you get to give. So y'all have a good one. And I will have that website listed on my community post later today.